What's happening? You know what time it is. Keenan just felt like cooking. And it's been a minute, but it's time for some snackages. Check it. Alright, so this is what I got here. I got some freshly ground chicken. Grinded this up myself. Check out my grinder in action on my chicken burger video and my chuck burger video. Yeah, nice little grinder I picked up. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this Bak Wa. Some little Chinese style jerky that I seen online. It's pretty cool. I did it before with some ground beef, but this time I'm gonna knock it out with this chicken because that's how they do it online. I'm gonna make a little mix for it, a little seasoning mix. I'm gonna go ahead and put a tablespoon each of this light soy, some of this Goya Total Seasoning, perfect seasoning, some Hoisin Sauce, some of that Lite Soy, and then we're going to follow that up with a half a tablespoon of each of these. Onion powder, black pepper, garlic powder, and some of that toasted sesame oil right there. And then I'm going to round it all off with just a teaspoon of this fish sauce. You don't need a lot of this stuff because it's real strong. So kick back, enjoy this music while I get this mix together. Alright, so I got that chicken seasoned up, and you got to mix it up. I seen them whipping it up, so they had the chicken meat real smooth. And now, about to roll this bad boy out. And also be sure to preheat your oven. I'm going to set it to 375. Okay, so I had a little mishap with the rolling pin. Be sure to make sure your meat is cold, and the texture of ground beef versus the texture of ground chicken is way different. The ground chicken was a little bit more stickier, so it was sticking to the top side of the parchment paper. So what I did was, check it. So I just, I took the second batch, and I just wet my hand, and I just smoothed it out. You want to make sure your hand is wet to prevent the meat from sticking to you. But I just went on ahead and smoothed it out as smooth as and thin as I can, and I got there. As you can see, it's pretty thin. Alright, so I'm going to put this in the oven, 375. I'm going to check it in about 15 minutes, and then I'm going to flip it and drain the grease off of it. Back in a minute. Alright, so it's been 15 minutes, and what I did was I took it off and flipped it over to a clean sheet of parchment paper, and then carefully peeled off the parchment paper. Go slow, because if not, you're going to tear your meat all up. So now I'm going to put it back in here for about another 10-15 minutes. Actually about 10 minutes. And then we're going to get to sweeten it up. One of the keys that I picked up off of watching the videos on YouTube is that you got to make sure all the fat is drained. Alright, back in a minute. Boy Keenan, snackages. Chicken Bak Wa, Keenan style. Alright, so it's been about 10 minutes. And what I did was I took about 2 tablespoons of honey and mixed it with about a tablespoon and a half of water. And what I'm going to do here is just paint the chicken, the Bak Wa, And we're gonna get this painted. We're gonna put it in there, let it caramelize up, dry out a little bit, and then flip it and just keep repeating the process until my liking. Most likely I'm gonna get about 2 or 3 of these up in here just like that. So I'm gonna continue to paint this, put it back in the oven, let it caramelize up, keep an eye on it, and you know, judge it by eye. Don't walk away from it. No need to set a timer. Alright, so I'm done with the first batch. I know some of y'all thinking like, damn! That's just the splatters of the honey the honey water when I was flipping it. As you can see, it is a nice color. I got some little caramelization, and this is up underneath, so you see it's not burnt. Alright, so I'm gonna let this bad boy cool and cut it up, and I got another one in there too, so when that's done I'm gonna let that cool and I'm gonna cut them both up and we're gonna get a sample. Alright, so here we go. Done with my version of some chicken Bak Wa. Nice thin pieces of chicken there, seasoned up. You know, that season I just made up as I was going, didn't even really put no thought into it, and it tastes amazing. You know, got some little crispy edges from that honey water. You can see the seasonings in there. Look at that. That is some seasoned meat right there. Nice and thin. You can put this in a refrigerator, and then when you heat it back up, I've seen them heat it up on like a little charcoal grill. Or you could do it in a skillet or electric grill indoors, whatever you got. But yeah. Alright, I need to taste this. Alright, so here we go. I got a piece with that little caramelized edge from that honey water. I need to have that in a Lunchable. I mean, that came out pretty good. The seasoning mix that I did, I actually thought it was a little salty because of the hoisin, the soy sauce, even though I use light soy, and the fish sauce. But it all smoothed out with that honey water. Now I know I said it was Chinese, it's Bak Wa, but I use a whole bunch of different. I use some Thai fish sauce, some Korean hoisin. Okay, slight correction there. By the way, my son, he's telling me hoisin is Chinese. I thought it was in Korean barbecue. But anyway, it's good, and it stays in rotation. Alright, don't forget to check out my other videos. Check me out on TikTok and Instagram and YouTube. Keenan just felt like cooking. One.